Tonight on KGW News, a woman and her dog rescued after they drove, potentially without knowing it, into dangerous floodwaters. And the warning as more roads shut down tonight.
Do not cross those barricades. You're putting your own life at risk.
Then new tonight, the legal fight for a local mother who was out buying socks and ended up in ICE detention for 2 months and counting.
Her family is falling apart without her.
Plus, new action from lawmakers after a KGW investigative series reveals the dangerous effects of what was, until now, an easily accessible drug.
It's appalling that it's available and killing kids.
And later, face to face, a look at a rare wildlife encounter caught on camera.
It stood still for me and looked straight at me for several seconds. Really cool.
First at 11, flooding, landslides, and rescues from surging waters tonight. The toll from 3 days of heavy rain grows as the tail end of an atmospheric river hammers the Portland metro and beyond. Good evening, everyone. David Wolko here, along with Catherine Cook and Chief Meteorologist Matt Zafino with our weather impact alert still in effect, though, Matt, after inches and inches and inches of rain, it sounds like there's finally relief in sight.
Things will begin to settle down overnight tonight, and I can show you the progress that this rain is making. And by progress, I mean moving out. Weather impact alert for another hour, basically. We'll let it expire at midnight tonight. There'll still be the threat of landslides and debris flows, even when the heavy rain ends, but it'll diminish greatly once the rain does end, and that'll be happening fairly soon. Portland right now, though, still very warm. Winds out of the southwest gusting to 24 miles an hour, so still blustery, and that warm temperature in the mid-50s, that southwest wind means we're still on the south side of the cold front. But look, you can see the back edge of this rainfall progressing past Astoria down to Longview, and give it a couple of hours and the rain will end in Portland. But we're getting into some of the heavier rainfall for the rest of this event right now, but this will move on out. So we've got a couple more hours of it. We're up to 0.4 of an inch of rain for the day today. So our total for the week is well over 3.5 inches. Now, look at that. Astoria is up to nearly 2 inches for the day. Atmospheric rivers. It's like an actual river. It's a band of moisture. It's usually very narrow, only a couple hundred miles wide at the most in the sky, of course. And when it goes over the mountains, it gets lifted and it just dumps the rainfall. We see most of them October, November, December, but they can happen, of course, this time of year too. So the rain ends overnight tonight. The rivers and streams will peak tomorrow and begin to recede, and we will finally get some snow back down to the past levels. Thus, the snow level will be dropping tonight, David. And some relief in the valley. Appreciate it, Matt. Well, team coverage continues now with Catherine Cook live in Southwest Portland with a look at some of the trouble spots out there. Catherine.
David, there is a lot to be aware of this weekend, including landslides like the one up here on Fairmount Boulevard. Also, road closures, be it for slides or standing water. The city says the important thing for everyone to do is to mind them.
That rain on top of saturated soil presents additional challenges.
Among those challenges, more landslides. City officials are warning about the latest ones. Near OHSU, a slide closed southwest Fairmount Boulevard between Markham Hill Road and Mount Adams Drive. Crews posted road closures at a nearby intersection, warning drivers to steer clear except for local access.
Do not cross those barricades. You're putting your own life at risk and potentially others. In that case, we've seen the slide moving, and we think there's likelihood with additional rain of additional movement.
This slide sent mud, trees, and debris onto Germantown Road in Forest Park, but crews cleared that mess and reopened the road Friday night. Another trouble spot? Southwest 45th Drive between Garden Home Road and Taylor's Ferry Road. Crews cleared slide debris here as well, but city officials warned of a looming hazard above.
There's a crack in the hillside that is very alarming, and it's actually moved a couple of feet today. With additional rain, there's a likelihood it's going to move some more. Dangerous. Please stay away from that.
In saturated soil, trees are also an issue. Since Wednesday morning, Portland Parks and Rec says its urban forestry crews have responded to 60 tree hazards on city streets, roads, and sidewalks.
If you see a tree down, please don't try to move it yourself. We have experts to do that. They are trained. We've been fortunate to get through this event so far, knock wood, with no staff injuries.
Like to hear that. The number 2 call for any city-related tree problem 24/7 is 503-823-TREE. Should be pretty easy to remember. Also critical to remember if you see a downed power line. Do not approach it. Instead, call 911. David.
Catherine Cook in Southwest Portland tonight. Good reminder. Appreciate it, Catherine. One more thing not to do, drive into floodwaters, because in Forest Grove, crews saved a woman and her dog after their car got stuck in this. You can see the roof of the vehicle in the drone video. It's actually off the road in a ditch about 6 feet deep. It turns out this street is prone to flooding, but had not been closed off with permanent gates there before the driver went into the water in the overnight hours. We should note it is not clear if she could actually see the danger. Firefighters call this case a great reminder to never drive through a flooded street, no matter how deep you might think it is.
And these roads where they're really dirty, full of just dirt and stuff from the fields, it's dangerous. So we should just never driving through flood waters, regardless if there's signs or not.
There's a reason we say turn around, don't drown. Yesterday afternoon, the Washington County Sheriff's Office shared these photos of deputies rescuing 2 drivers in the Rock Creek area who also got stuck in floodwaters. Let's take a break from the weather. Developing tonight, attorneys for an Albany mother who was picked up by ICE agents while buying socks for her kids are urging immigration officials to release her after 2 months in detention. Alma McCarty's with us. Alma, elected leaders are now joining those calls.
Yeah, David, Maria Loya Medina's attorneys say that her detention is unlawful. And when an immigration court quickly denied her bond, calling her a flight risk, they violated her right to due process.
Maria Loya Medina is a mother, a wife, a caregiver, and even an active member of her church community.
And for more than 2 months, she's been in ICE custody at the Northwest Detention Center in Tacoma.
The story starts on January 10th when Maria was out buying socks for her son's soccer game at a local sporting goods store. And without warning, federal agents swarmed her car, smashed her window, and arrested her.
Maria Loya Medina, a citizen of Mexico who works as a house cleaner, has lived in the United States for 21 years and in Oregon for nearly a decade. Jose Miranda, her attorney, says she has no criminal record and says agents weren't even looking for her.
They were surveilling the community and arrested her anyway. They presented no warrant. They just presented intimidation and aggression.
Maria's 16-year-old son told the Albany City Council a few weeks later that his mother's detention was hurting their family.
My goal tonight is to share my perspective and advocate for the Hispanic community in Albany that has recently been affected by the prominent presence of ICE groups.
In February, Miranda says an immigration judge labeled Maria a flight risk and issued a no bond order.
The hearing lasted 15 minutes. It was not recorded. No transcript exists.
Now her legal team is asking a federal judge to order Maria's immediate release or to hear her case again so she can return to her 2 children and her husband, who recently suffered a stroke and underwent heart surgery. Oregon Representatives Bonamici and Bynum, in a letter to ICE officials Friday, demanded her release as well.
Immigration detention is not supposed to be about punishment, right? It's supposed to ensure, for example, that someone participates in their legal proceedings, which Miss Loya is fully ready to do, and we've made that clear to the government. But DHS and the Immigration Court are not applying the law here.
We have reached out to DHS and to ICE for a comment on this case, but have not heard back. David?
Just one more case and one more family. Thanks, Alma.